Hello everyone, I'm Tom, and what I want to go over with you today is what we call the Freedom Form. And what I have found, what this does is actually help you when you go talk to people to set up their family ahead of time, set up their group ahead of time, so that when you bring them into the larger group, there's no worries about money being put out, okay? We have some different ones here. And what I'm going to do first is just draw a couple up to you, okay? The first one is just, you'll see these circles. This is just the bring to model, which is on paper. And how we use this one is actually any way you want to. You can put your name on top, your first two people you want to bring, and then we can take the same form, and each of these people will get one of these. Then they bring their two. In this model here, this is our bring to, help to, okay? Very simple. We have them all drawn up from this model to an actually 15 people to another model with 31 on there, which will actually give you a whole month's worth of your folks before you actually plug them into the family. How I use these is in a little different way. The biggest thing we all have to understand is the impartation of bring to and help to. I want to be honest with you here for a minute. It doesn't matter how many people you put on this list. If they do not understand that they also need to bring to, there's a possibility of getting a flat tire on your bus, and then we'd have to work around that. So here's the goal here, is to sit with people and help them understand that it's their responsibility also to be a part of this rescue mission. That's one thing we can't lose. We cannot lose the understanding that we're out there to rescue people. We all know this country's going through a hard time right now, and we feel here at Operation Promised Land that we have the answer. We have the combination to that vault. We have a way to help each and every person. We have a way to start from church, to town, to city, and bringing us all out of here together. The way I like to use these forms is one day I was sitting in church, and God put on my heart 15 names. I couldn't figure them out. I'm trying to listen to the pastor, and I'm getting these names in my head. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. So I took the bulletin and wrote down these names. As the day went on, I realized I needed to put them on a freedom form. Now take this part and understand that some of these folks wanted nothing to do with this because they looked at it as network marketing, not as a mission. So I couldn't understand the names. So what I did was I put the names in order, the way I felt that they needed to go on here. "15 names. I started calling from the top down these people, and believe it or not, from the very beginning when I talked to the first man, I said, if there was a way that I could show you that you'd have 2 to 3 rows of people under you before you began this, would you be interested in looking at what we're doing? Right away, the man texted me back and said, I'm sending you my information now to get started in this. And I had the ability to tell him, no, not right now. This is what I'm working on. And what I did was started calling each person down here. So far, every one of them have said yes to what we're doing. Now, here's the deal. It's bring to, help to. So we don't get out of doing that. But what has happened is we've taken 15 people now. And the next thing the Lord put on my heart is no family members until each of these fellows go out and rescue 2. And the reason I feel He put this on my heart, and I'm not trying to be mean to anyone, is that we like to take care of our family, but what seems to happen is we plug in a family member, they don't have to get there 2, so we're working extra hard to try to fill the spots with them. We don't want to do that. Here's what happens, is that each of them do have a spouse. That's another 15 people. Each of them have an adult child over the age of 18, which can join any of these programs that we get into. There's another 15 people in the waiting to get in. But what we have created here, each of these men and women want to get started now. Well, they can't until they bring their 2. No one gets on our list until they bring 2. That's part of the plan. That's the whole part of the plan. So what we've created now is each of these people that bring 2, there's 30 more people that get started. We've gone from 15 to 30. Now you can bring your family members in. There's another 30. 75 people before we even start putting people into our family. These people still have to bring their 2 before they bring their family members. So you can see how I've used this. It's been very effective. We've helped some groups that we haven't even met yet go from 7, 10, 12 people. And I think the last call I heard was close to 800 people in about a 10-week span. Within the next 6 weeks, they've been telling me they're looking at about 2,000. There's larger groups coming in looking at this. What this does is when you sit down with someone, you can plan out how they want to do this before they put any money in. That's the biggest thing. People are in networking, are so used to going out and grabbing everyone. 20 on your left, 20 on your right, 30 on your left, 30 on your right. Let's plug them in. Let's get them going. Let's spend the money to get them in and then worry about them getting their own too. This way we sit down ahead of time. We plan it out.